Hello everyone, I'm going to show you my 75 divine per hour beast farming strategy late in the league, and I've just optimized it so much, and that's how I'm able to make so much currency. I have a really expensive character, which is a huge part of it. Basically, it is a high movement speed, between like 500 and 600% movement speed, 10 million DPS, and pretty decent defenses. So the character is a big part of it, but there's a lot of other little things I'm going to share with you that should help you out with your own beast farming, regardless of what character you're using. So if you don't know what beast farming is, it's when the red and yellow beasts are on your map, you go up to them and kill them, and then Einhar will appear and capture them for you. And what these beasts do are, they're just like different ways to craft items. They're used a lot of the times in endgame crafting for mirror crafters, to make mirror items, and also they do other weird things like the Vivid Watcher will reroll awakened support gems like that, so that's a weird thing. This guy's worth like 2 divines. This guy creates an imprint of a magic item, he's worth a divine. And the Black Mórrigan does a lot of stuff. He's like a part of really important crafts, like applying a Hinocor's Lock to a magic item. You need the Craicic Chimeral and Black Mórrigan, so that's why these guys are worth so much. And when you find one of these guys in your map, we're actually using a Scarab to duplicate them. So when you find one of these guys in your map, it's basically as if you found basically like 2 or 3 divines. And if you find one of these guys, it's like if you found 4 or 5 divines just laying on the ground. So all we're going to do is run through maps as fast as possible, not kill anything, look for just what we want. We're also going to be picking up heist contracts and blueprints to sell in bulk also. But mostly we're just running around and killing the really expensive like top 7 beasts. Okay, so these are the beasts that we are looking for. The only one that you'll never find is this one. He's like some boss fight you have to open up and then go get it. But all these other ones are actually worth something. If you sell them in bulk, they're worth a little bit more. And so what you do is you go to poe.re, click the bestiary. You set your minimum chaos value to whatever you want. If you want to take more things, which it's really not optimal to take these things that aren't worth shit, because people aren't going to buy them that often, and they're just not worth much, so they're just wasting your time killing them in maps. And yeah, you just copy this, you go to your bestiary, and I just did 100 maps, so you'll see that I have all these. These are the Bristle Matrons, Black Mórrigans, the Arachnids, Vivid Watchers, and then Craicic Chimerals. Okay, I did want to show you all the beasts so you know what you're looking for. Sadly, I did not find in my last 100 maps a Hellion Alpha or a Vivid Vulture. So this is the Hellion Alpha. It's one of the harvest beasts. It's like a purple dog with tons of spikes. It's really obvious when you see it. And it blows like purple fire. And then also we have the Vivid Vulture, which is one of the yellow harvest beasts. You will see some vultures flying around that are like very normal, and you'll see them a lot. And then all of a sudden you'll see one that's yellow and spiky, and that is the Vivid Vulture. I'm sorry that I could not show you those like on video and very clearly, but yeah, those are the 2 that I don't have on video, and then I'll show you the rest. Okay, so this one here is the Bristle Matron that we already saw, but it's the big purple bear that has an actual face. There is something else that does not have a face that looks very close, and you definitely want the one with the face. Okay, so here's the other one that does look like the Bristle Matron kinda, but it doesn't have a face very clearly. It has a weird little tentacly grabber face thing. It's more like a gorilla. It looks like, not a bear. So yeah, don't try and get that. That thing's not worth anything. Okay, so these guys here, these little tentacly floaty guys, they look like the Vivid Watcher, but they are not. And when they spawn in a pack like this, you already know that they're not, because the Vivid Watcher does not spawn with a bunch of squids around him. He spawns with like a bunch of little glowy bugs, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, these guys are not Vivid Watchers. They're like the common variety that you see a ton of. So this is what the Vivid Watcher looks like. I'll run up on it here in a second on the right. And not that one, this one. So you can see it has little glowy bugs around it and not other tentacle monsters. So, and it has all the yellow spikes like a harvest beast does, because it is a harvest beast. So this here is the Craicic Chimeral. It's a little frog guy. They're usually just called frogs anyway. You can see he's got frog legs and he jumps up in the air like that. There are some other like gaping dragon from Dark Souls 1 looking things with a bunch of teeth that kind of look like frog guys, but yeah, it's not these. But these guys are pretty common. Really easy to spot, and there's not much that looks a lot like them. Then we have the Black Mórrigan. This guy's impossible to miss. It's a steroided bird, has wings, it has antlers. He's like one of the biggest monsters that you could possibly like find on a map. So, and then he gets even bigger like that. But yeah, that's the Black Mórrigan. This one is the Fenumal Plagued Arachnid. It's literally the biggest spider of all the spiders and scorpions. It is blue. It's impossible to miss. Okay, so we'll do a couple maps really quick. We may or may not find anything we actually want. I might just run through and do nothing. But if I find a beast that I want, I'm going to obviously stop and kill it. So we are using 2 Bestiary Scarab of the Herd, which just makes more red beasts appear on your map if Einhard's on your map. And we have a 100% Einhard chance, so he's always going to be there. And then we have a Bestiary Scarab of Duplicating, which the one I talked about, it duplicates any beast that we capture. So we're going to craft Heist on our map to make more smuggler caches appear, which is what the contracts and blueprints appear out of that we're going to be picking up for some little extra currency to sell to people. And then we don't put any influences on our map. Actually, we're just running a normal map always because we just want the map to be as easy as possible. The red beasts, like, there's no better chance of them appearing with like quality and pack size. There's just always going to be a certain amount of red beasts. So we'll go ahead and start that. And I've done thousands of maps, so I know exactly what I'm looking at every time. You will become well acquainted with figuring out what beasts are what and like what they look like. But as you can see, when a red beast spawns in a pack, it's almost always around the beasts that look just like it. So if you can't exactly see the beast right away, but you see like what pack it's in, that's essentially what beast it is. There's very few exceptions to that rule. That was a porcupine, solemn. That's like a monkey guy. This is a Bristle Matron, so this is what I want. Weird feather thing, crab ash shooter. I don't even know what this is. Like, how is this a beast? I always thought this is a person. Like, what is this? I don't even know what this is. Oh god, it's kind of horrifying. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's not something we want. Okay, that's it. And I don't have portal scrolls. Okay, but yeah, usually you'd have a portal scroll bound to a button, and then you just portal out, and then put the next map in and go. Did I click any caches there? I don't think so. We'll do the map correctly this time. So if you don't see something, it's usually these koalas because they bury underground, or they just like appear somewhere. But yeah, those koalas, I can never see the actual red beast. Yeah, like I don't know where he is right there, but he's in a pack of koalas, so I don't care. Did I pass a cache back here? No, that was that map. Porcupine, dog. Ash shooters, picking these up. Yeah, I think I was picking stuff up last map, but I'm just so used to doing it that I didn't even register in my brain. We'll do one more. No more talking. I'll just run a map, show you what it's like. Goat. Not a Vivid Watcher. Ash shooters. Koalas. Ash shooter. Ash shooter, it's scorpion, smuggler's cache, dog, it's crab, it's bug, porcupine. That's it. That's how a map usually looks like for me. Okay, so how long do you actually have to wait when you kill the enemy to move on? Because obviously if you optimize that, you're going a lot quicker. Well, when you kill the beast, sometimes they might attack you for a second. It takes a second for Einhard to kick in, and you'll see the enemy will get electrocuted, and they're not captured yet, but then they'll like freeze, and that's when they're captured. So I'll show you that here. I'll leave up the bestiary. I don't even know what this is. It's porcupine. I want to click my flask and everything, and then you'll see him shake right here. He's not captured yet, and the second he stops, he's captured. So the second they stop moving, you can move on. So obviously the map we run is Strand. It just is a straight line. If you just zigzag a little, you'll see every icon pop up. You can't miss anything. And also the map's just kind of like gray and dark, so all the beasts kind of like pop out and they're really easy to see. So that's why we run Strand. And then for the Atlas, we basically have 3 things. We have heist contract stuff, we have all the beast stuff obviously, and we have ore veins. And we'll talk about that in a sec. But I do block just a bunch of stuff because I don't want a bunch of garbage on my map. I don't want breaches showing up. I don't want abyss showing up, clogging up the screen. I don't want legion. Just get rid of stuff. We're only spending like 100 points on this tree. I don't even have all my points. I don't even have all of them spent. So, this is just all we need. You can put the delve veins on your map, so you get some azurite. I forget which node does that. Oh yeah, so you can get some azurite, then you can buy and sell some of the resonators. It's really not that profitable, and it's just more stuff to click on. And all the icons we look at are red, and now you have to start looking at yellow ones, which means you're gonna like get confused with yellow beasts. Good job, Steve. But yeah, it's just it's a waste of time and like mental energy for me. I did it for a while, but it's just there's no point. Okay, but yeah, we take all the heist nodes because it makes more smuggler contracts or smugglers caches appear, so we get more contracts. You don't have to take all this because it just modifies the contracts, but it doesn't give us any more deceptions. This node's really good because it gives us a chance to get a ton of smugglers caches on our tree. I don't even know what this is. Oh, more chance to get blueprints. Blueprints are worth more. Just try and get those. And then for the beast tree, we basically take all the beast nodes except this one because the beasts have a chance to break free. That's just a waste of time. Don't got to worry about that. Yeah, taking all those nodes besides that one. And then for what we put as more likely to find on our map, obviously we get more of the less common varieties. And then we have the 100% increased chance from the deep because that's the Craicic Chimerals, which just sell like hotcakes for like more than a divine. And then also Vivid Watchers, which are worth like 2 divines, really expensive. And then the beasts, you have the Hellion Alphas, the Bristle Matrons, and then obviously the Black Mórrigans, which are the most expensive beast. So just lots of good beasts from both of these. The only other really good beast is the Vivid Watcher from the Sands, but it's very rare, and there's a bunch of other stuff from the Sands that we don't want, so there's no point in increasing the chances on that. And then from the Caverns, I think the only thing is the Spider. The Spider is the one that's still the most common, even without this selected, and it's worth like about the least in the whole amount that we get, and you just get a ton of them anyway, so that's why I take both of those. For Kalgur stuff, we're only taking Ore Chance on our maps, and that's simply because it will make it so that the Starfall Crater has a chance to appear. I don't know if it replaces an Ore Vein or not, so you might be able to make your chances like even greater if you put on the Ore Scarabs, but that's a lot of extra chaos per map. And the reason we're going for the Starfall Crater is obviously for the Fallen Shield. It's like 90 divines. If you get it, it's a very low chance when you kill the Night guy in the Starfall Crater that you get this Fallen. So it's just a little extra something that we can put on that's not going to waste our time and clog up our map, but has a big payout. So this is what my inventory usually looks like when I'm running these maps, because the beasts don't go into your inventory, so they're not taking up space. We're not killing enemies. We're not really dropping currency or anything. Sometimes stuff will pop out of the smuggler's caches. As you saw, really nothing's appearing on my loot filter, and you should not have a loot filter that's clogging up your screen to making it hard to click on the contracts and the blueprints and the rogues markers. You really just want it to be only that stuff and beasts just on your map. So this is what it looks like, because I just go in, throw in the next map, I go in. When I get a bunch of contracts and stuff, I come here and I scroll it all in. I'm not going to right now because I still need to take some data from what's here, but I'm going to show you how I unload all this. So let me put these away real quick. So you'll usually fill up on contracts. Well, you'll always fill up on contracts before blueprints, so you'll have to clean these out like every 150 to 200 maps. You can take the bunker, repository, and tunnels contracts off your loot filter because the only things we're looking for are deception contracts, because these sell for like 15 to 20 chaos in bulk. So these are the ones that we'll be keeping. The rest we're getting rid of. And then all blueprints sell for like 40 chaos. And there are 3x3 blueprints that sell for like 3/4 of a divine. So I have one here. So I got 2 of those. I put them in here. And there's also 4x4 contracts that sell for a divine now. The strategy is obviously very reliant on like the prices of everything, so that's why this is really good late league. It was still really good early league. I think when I was way worse with the strategy, I was still making like 30 divines an hour. And then yeah, so then we just take all these blueprints and then scroll them into a different tab. This is how I have everything set up. This very much helps you separate everything and unload all your loot really quickly so you can sell it in bulk. You need a tab for the Alpha Hellions, the Bristle Matrons, Black Mórrigans, the Vivid Vultures, the Plagued Arachnids, the Vivid Watchers, and the Craicic Chimerals. You don't really need stash tabs for these, you can like put them in like a different premium tab or something. You can just drag them in. We don't want to be dragging everything in and like sorting all of it in one premium tab. That is going to insanely increase the amount of time you're spending sorting your loot, and you really don't want to be taking a lot of time sorting your loot. And so, yeah, then you need a quad tab for deception contracts and a quad tab for blueprints. All of this loot that you see here is from 500 maps that I did, and I logged, which I'll be showing you later. And then, like I said, I still have my last 100 maps to unload now, so that's what I'll do. Okay, and optimally, you would like a mouse that has an unlocked mouse wheel, so you can, like, just scroll at once, and then it scrolls for a really long time. It's like on a bearing. And you just want to set your primary click to your mouse wheel. So then you can just scroll it down and then scroll over everything, and it puts it into your inventory very quickly. And this is how you get stuff in and out of your inventory so fast. And it saves an infinite amount of time, like this. If you don't have a mouse wheel click, you just don't do the strategy. You'll just break your finger. And it'll feel terrible and take years. You just don't do it. And then so you're going to type in Decept. Make sure you don't just type in like 3 letters, like DEC, because there are, I don't know, words with DEC in these contracts sometimes, and you don't want to put those in someone's trade window. They'll be pissed off. I was very close to doing it, but I double checked before I made the trade, luckily. You do gotta click because it's only certain ones. So I got 53 here. Okay, and I started cleaning out these contracts. What you want to do is just take all of one set of them and then sell them, because it will either like 3 to 1 them or 5 to 1 them. It will give you some contracts back, and they might be deception contracts, and you have to just like sell them to get rid of them anyway. So it's just, this is how you do it. And then you can go through and just delete the rest, or you can just leave them in there for later on your next round. Just get rid of all this. And then what's next? Oh, we got to get our beasts out. So we go to the menagerie, stash, and then you have to open your stash because otherwise the game doesn't know that you have chaos orbs. Then you just control click that. I actually just don't have chaos orbs, holy. Okay, now I have chaos orbs, and he doesn't know I have chaos orbs unless I come here. And click that, and then what is it? Oh, is it just shift click? Oh, no, it's control shift click. Oh, I see. Yeah, control shift click, and it puts it all in. I always control shift click. I just didn't know if I was pressing too many buttons. But then yeah, do I still have that copy paste from earlier? Yes, I do. Then you open up your inventory, and now you may or may not want to do it like this. The correct way is to do this and put it in your inventory like this, and make it all nice and neat. And then I will put that in here. But the faster way and the scary way to do it is, 1, turn off your loot filter so you don't actually like start clicking on ones, and then throw them on the ground. And this is risky because if your instance crashes or your internet goes out for a while, these are lost. And you might lose, like, I don't know, that's probably like 30, 40 divines right there. And then yeah, close your inventory, turn your loot filter back on, and pick them all up. This is how I always do it, because scared money don't make no money. So we just do it like this. Also, I should have put these black Mórrigans in. But yep, that's all the loot sorted. It's not a big deal. After you throw out all the beasts that matter, so like all those, I don't have anything left, you can sit here with your unlocked mouse wheel and just scroll it kind of slowly, because if you scroll it too quickly, also you just hold control, and it's primary click. But like I said, I have my mouse wheel set to primary click, so I don't break my finger. And you just get rid of all the beasts that don't matter. There's yellow beasts, there's a bunch of trash beasts. Some people sell all that. It's a waste of time and a waste of energy. Then I just save the rest of these for when I get a bunch of them, and then I don't buy them. Yeah, and it takes me like 5 minutes to unload everything. And really, you only have to unload the contracts like every 130, 150-ish maps. And then the rest you can probably do like every 300 to 500 maps. Like, did you see? There were so few things in my bestiary. I don't know how much the bestiary can hold. Yeah, the bestiary can hold like 1,000 beasts, I guess. And I probably had like 250 max in there, I would think. Maybe 300. So yeah, maybe you want to unload it every like 200, 300 maps. So yeah, you don't even have to unload it as often as I was for these maps that I'm going to show you the data from. Okay, so this is my data from my 600 maps. I did 100 maps and then logged all of it, and then another 100, then another 100, then another 100, then another 100, then another 100. And I did it like this because I really thought there'd be a lot of variance between how much I made, because sometimes it can feel like you're not finding anything, and then sometimes you're like, oh, I'm literally making just 1 billion divines a second. It feels so good. Like in this one, what is it? Yeah, so I was doing like pretty good here, and then on the very last map, I found 3 black Mórrigans on the last map, which is 13 divines, because it duplicates them. So I literally had no black Mórrigans on this first 100 maps. The very last map, 13 divines, like one map. It's crazy. But yeah, so I thought there'd be more variance between all of these, how much I made, but there's really not that much on the first 400 maps, and I was like, well, why would I even do the last couple hundred? It's better than I thought. Well, I made even more on the next 100 maps. I made 140 divines, and then the next 100 maps, I made the least that I made the whole time, and made 93 divines, in revenue, not profit. It cost 9.6 divines to run 100 maps. You can see this is how much the Scarabs, the Heistcraft, and the Strand maps when you buy them in bulk. You can buy like 30 to 40 maps per divine when people sell a bunch of them. If you like try and get them from the trade site, you can probably get them for like 4 or 5 chaos per map, but I got tired of that pretty quickly. Sometimes you can get a good deal from people, but yeah, if you just, this is pretty normal, 7C. So it's like 20 chaos per map. Every time you click open a map, it's 20 chaos, 100 maps, 9.6 divines. So yeah, it's making a lot of profit. It takes me an hour, 1.33 hours to run all those maps and sort of the loot on the first one. Then this was my fastest one, 1.2. This literally was 40 seconds a map. I calculated it, which is nuts. And then, yeah, so it took me 7.61 hours to run the 600 maps, and that is 78, almost 79 divines per hour. And you can see what I listed all the prices for in divines. This was the price I've either sold the map or they sell at for on the respective places. For beasts, I sell them on the trade site because it's kind of passive. You just set a beast to a certain price. What you do is we'll say I want to sell these chimerals. Maybe I want to sell 60 at a time because I have so many of them and people will buy them, like all of that. And I don't want to list one at a time because I might get 30 trades of just one and then just one and just one. It's a waste of time. So what you do is you set the stash tab to public, and then you exact price just one of these guys to 72 divines per 60 chimerals. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to double check the prices to see if they've gone up so I can sell them for more. But people can only ping me for 60 at a time now. Maybe you want to do it like lower. Maybe you want to sell like 20 at a time. But then, yeah, you sell all the contracts on TFT. Let me get rid of this chimeral because I don't want to get pinged right now. So on the Forbidden Trove, you go to bulk heists, want to sell. You just see what people are selling stuff for. Like I said, blueprints go for like 40 chaos. And the deception contracts go for like 15 to 20 chaos. So you can just look at what people are selling them for. He's selling them for 10. Or he said they're sold, obviously, because that's a really low price. Let's see, 15. But I'll say, when you sell this many at a time, you can sell them for way more than the normal like 15 chaos price. I think I was selling them for like more than 20 chaos per. For these, I don't even know what I got. I think it was like 45, 50 chaos per because I sold them 360 at a time. That's why I have this like line, because that's when I'll sell them 360. Because people don't want to bother with trades, so you can just sell them for more because you save them time. And then lastly, the rogues markers, which you really don't have to do, but when you build up all the way to this last one, you can go to Faustus and sell the max amount of rogues markers. There we go. You sell them for divines, and it's 65,000 per divine. The most, like, you can't put over 1,000,000 into here. So basically what you can do is sell 975,000 for 15 divines. I do have this many, but you can see here that the ratio that I have it at, 1 divine to 65,000, everyone is listing there. No one can beat you on that price. So really, if you just wait like 2 or 3 days, these will sell at that price, and it's really nice. Otherwise, you can sell them on TFT for like 100,000 per divine or 110,000 per divine if you want to sell them quickly. But yeah, I do have a lot of these somewhere. I think this stash tab. That should be enough. And then, yeah, now I have that many. So that'll just sit there for 2 or 3 days. You don't have to sell these. They were like 5 divines per 100 maps. And that means they pop out of every single smuggler's cache. And you have to click them out of every single smuggler's cache. So if you just take them off your loot filter, you don't got to click them. You lose 5 divines per 100 maps. It's just up to you. Okay, and then a couple other random things before I end the video. You can get a trinket that has the mod Smuggler's Caches have 10% chance to duplicate contained rogues markers. They will drop into one pile, so this is really just 10% more rogues markers, more currency. And then if you don't have a super fast and good character, this is not going to be that profitable or fun. I have a lot of fun doing this with a character that's super fast movement speed, not really using shield charge, not using frost blink. It's just very chill. Having phasing is like actually it's mandatory. It's mandatory is the word I'm looking for. But if you don't have a high movement speed character that can kill and survive these maps, what you can do is have 2 accounts. You can open up the map with a character that's very strong and can kill stuff, and then you can have another account where you have just a movement speed character that won't die. So you open the map with the strong character, you go in with the movement speed character, you search for an enemy, put down a portal, have your other character come in and kill it, and then go back out, and then continue the map with your movement speed character. It is slower, and you actually, like, who gets the beast in that situation? Well, the map host gets it, so you want the one who's killing to be the one who opens the map, like I said. So the host always gets it, and supposedly the other accounts or other people in the map have a chance to get it, but I never did when I had a weak movement speed character. So I think you probably have to render the beast in around the same time for that to actually happen. So you're not going to get like any extra beasts with an alternate account. But yeah, that's just a way to run the strategy slightly less optimally, but with probably a lot less currency like to put in. The only problem is you got to level a character on another account, so you got to do like a lot of like weird trades. But yeah, so that's what I was doing before I had a really good character. Yeah, like I said, my character is pretty expensive, so copying it is like, you're going to really want to invest in this strategy. And basically what I did is I combined Empyrian and Bazooka Tank's Heist character with my Chaos Dot character. I just ripped all the gear off of my Chaos Dot spellcaster, and I just made a Vine Arrow. Yeah, this is Vine Arrow, right? No, Toxic Rain. I'm an idiot. Toxic Rain Chaos Dot build with all of this. It has like 500 movement speed with the flasks on, and then when I have my Phase Run and Withering Step going, it goes to over 600%. It counts down a little because that's what Withering Step does. It loses its effectiveness over time. And yeah, so this character is really fast. It's pretty tanky because of Progenesis. It's not like immortal in these maps. I don't want to just like stand inside 4 red beasts, especially if they're doing some kind of dot damage. It's really rough. And it probably dishes out like 10 to 15 mil DPS. And what else? Oh yeah, I guess I could make it tankier by actually getting the Wither Touch Mercenary to give me Malevolence and then put on Petrified Blood here instead. I've just been running these maps without a Mercenary because technically the rare monster's health is lower, so it should take less time to kill the beasts, and I just didn't have a Wither Touch Mercenary that I found recently, and I just didn't care to do it all. Yeah, really expensive build that I'm using. You just need something that's fast, tanky-ish, and then does probably like 5 to 10 million DPS. I really wouldn't go any lower than that. That'd be really rough and take a long time to kill the red beasts. But yeah, I think people run, what's it called, lab with a build like this. I was looking at a bunch of similar builds, so there are other examples of builds you can make, probably for cheaper, but obviously the farm's not as efficient because it's cheaper, means it's slower, less DPS, unless I really made a shit build, but I don't think it's that shit. Probably not super optimized, but still pretty good. But I'll leave the POB in the description, so you can look at this and maybe copy it if you so desire. And that's the end of the video, all of my advice and everything I've done the last few weeks. I think I'll be doing a terrible shield craft. That's kind of why I stuck out this farm for 600 maps to get another like 500, 600 divines, because this craft's going to suck. Maybe I'll make a video on that. And I have made a Creeping Frost build that's really expensive lately, and that's what I'm making the shield for. So I'll probably make a video on that. That'll probably be my only couple other videos of the league. So stay tuned for those, and comment if you have any questions or any other advice for this farm that I've missed out on. And yeah, like and subscribe. See ya.